bit too much. Maybe I've had too much tea. Okay, the reason I'm excited is today we're going to be having another episode on organisation. And today we're going to be looking at timetabling your week. If you have watched my episode on the on-the-go list, that's a really helpful precursor to this one. So before you continue, scroll through, find the video on the on-the-go list or to-do list, and pop back for the rest of this video. The main thing with your to-do lists is to make tasks small and manageable. That rule applies to your week as well. When organising your to-do list, I also talked about task and time. Sorry, my dog keeps interrupting things. He just wants to be involved. You're annoying. So, tasks and time. It's important to chunk your tasks and to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself during the week. So think about it. Is this a task that needs to be done short term, long term? Is this a section of a longer task that I can start working on now? Have I mapped out my tasks and broken them down into chunks? Thinking about the big picture before we start planning week to week is super helpful. The next thing you need to think about is what must be done and what can be done. So you possibly won't be able to write an entire essay in 1 week, but you might be able to write the introduction and a body paragraph. You might be able to allocate some time for some editing. You might be able to complete 1 practice test. Again, be realistic with your skill set and your time. When you're planning, it's really important that you plan around your life. Sometimes, like in year 11 and year 12, schoolwork is going to escalate quite a bit, so you are going to have to dedicate more time a week to your subjects. However, in junior school, it's really important that you are not overloading yourself with schoolwork and that your timelines are realistic. That being said, whatever year group you're in, it's important that you're allowing time for you. So smashing your afternoons and evenings full of study is not a helpful approach. So make sure that you map in your extracurricular. You play netball on the weekend, that might go for a couple of hours, which includes travel. Put that in your timetable. If you go to church on Sundays, or let's just say you have a standing family lunch on Sunday afternoons, timetable that in. And again, be realistic. Sometimes it's helpful to overschedule the time because time is such a precious and valuable thing and it does slip through our fingers quite easily. So always overestimating the amount of time that is required for a task or even an extracurricular activity is really helpful. I'm going to share some templates with you about how you can map your week. I will try and attach them to this video as well. But the point is, once you have your timetable week up, you need to make it visible. So if you're lucky enough to have your own study space at home, make sure it's there, because when you get that sneaking, creeping feeling to maybe I might just click on this one YouTube moment, or maybe I might pick up my phone, you have your accountability in front of you. You have your tasks in front of you. So make it visible. The next thing you need to do is be flexible, because sometimes life happens. Maybe your auntie pops around for a surprise visit and then boom, there goes your study afternoon. Or maybe you decided that, oh, you know what, I'm so tired, I need some me time, I'm going to go hang out with my friends at the shops. Boom, there goes your study time. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to be flexible and you need to reprioritize your tasks if things go poorly. The best way I've found to do this is with these bad boys. Post-it notes are great, they're flexible. This is the single greatest invention for organization ever. So, using one of the templates you have your tasks mapped out, and then under each day, have a post-it tab with your tasks. So you have sort of a mini on-the-go list for each day. By doing this, you're able to see, are the tasks I'm required to do in that time realistic? Do I need to prioritize? Are there times later in the week where I can get more done? Again, thinking about what must be done and what can be done is really important. Then, let's just say on this to-do list you had complete geography questions 1 to 3, do maths exercises on page 204, complete English paragraph task. Now, you need to think, I have 2 hours to complete all of this. Is that a realistic timeline for me to get that done? If it isn't, you might need to prioritize. You might need to think, The English task isn't due for another week and a half, so maybe I can push the English task to Wednesday instead of doing it on Monday. And then on Monday, I just focus on my geography and my maths because that's what's due tomorrow. If you find that you get through the geography and maths quickly, maybe you might want to start writing, but you don't necessarily need to finish. So then on Wednesday's list, you say, continue working on English paragraph task. And again, breaking things down into really small sections makes life so much easier. The last thing you need to do is sort of be accountable to you. Yes, it can be visible. Yes, it can be organized. Yes, it can be, laid with the most beautiful post-it notes you've ever seen. It can have highlighter. It can have beautiful headings. It can be a picture of beauty. But if you don't get it done, it doesn't matter. Being accountable and getting your tasks done is possibly one of the biggest challenges you'll face. I do have a video coming up on finding motivation, and a slight spoiler alert, you'll never find it. It just has to be there. So sometimes you just need to get up and do. It's as simple as that. And again, this phrase has sort of helped me along the way. It's also helped a few students of mine. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done. So for our little perfectionists out there who fret over a particular task and wonder and wonder and wonder if it's the right thing to do, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you're unsure, ask a teacher. So that's my video on timetabling for your week. In the credits, I will post some of the templates I suggested. Again, make it your own. See what works for you. Experiment. These are just suggestions. And these have come from years and years and years of practice and trial and error. So don't be afraid to bring your own energy to it. Have a nice day.